Good morning, Sports Insanity Network fans. It's me, Marco, Ops Guy Halpern, along with my PIC, Danny, Boy, Reginald. Dan, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Elated, ecstatic,
As you
amazed.
should.
Webster Dictionary defines the term luck as a force that brings good fortune,
Right.
and the events or circumstances that operate for or against an individual. Well, at one point, the Knicks were down 29 points. I wonder how many people took the Knicks to come back and win it, because not even I was willing to do it. The Knicks came together in the second half and pulled off the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history with a final score of 107-106 over the Spurs that literally led this game from the get-go until late in the fourth. Dan, you like me, as crazy as we are, what were you thinking at the 29-point deficit?
I was a little disappointed that they didn't come out as aggressive and with firepower as I used as I would think they did. To be real with you, I wasn't surprised that the Knicks didn't have a lead in the first half. Surprised by the massive deficit. My sister's cat. I'm in Pennsylvania, by the way. My sister's cat comes in. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Um, no, I wasn't shocked by the Spurs having a lead. I was shocked by the 29 points. Um, of course, what's going through my mind is the game's over. Going back to San Antonio because the Knicks showed absolutely no fight whatsoever. And on top of that, the Spurs are hitting every shot known to man, even the toughest shots. That they just had every single time they put up a damn ball, it would go into the damn basket. It was just everything was just going right for the Spurs. The Knicks having no rhythm on offense, they looked terrible offensively. They look terrible defensively. Oh, and may I add, Mark, the referees once again were dictating the game early on. How can you, as a ref, allow two fouls on Karl Anthony Towns 65 seconds into the game? And I know we went a little back and forth on it the last time. Not saying that the refs weren't a factor. They were a factor in game three. And they were horrible in game three. It just wasn't the reason why the Knicks lost. There is no excuse with these referees, with the amount of calls that went the Spurs' way in the first half, and the lack of calls for the Knicks when they had the same amount of contact. That was a little egregious.
The refs have
So
been,
obviously,
I agree with you 100% that the refs have not been equally natured since the first and second game. Home here at the third and the fourth, we've seen a dramatic change, but it only affected one game. Now we're going back to the land of Texas, where the stars that
mhm,
night are big and bright. Too bad they're in
yeah.
the dome, so they can't
Uh,
see them.
you know what was interesting was that sitting down, I'm in my television control room and my television station, and um, I'm looking at the score. I think it was officially 27 at halftime, 29 total. Um, because the 29 points came around the third quarter. I think they were down 29 at some point in the second as well. Um, I'm looking at the score. The Spurs are up. It's like coming close to maybe a quarter away, midway through the third. I'm looking at it and I notice right away, right around the 9 minute, 8 minute mark, that the Spurs are getting a little too comfortable. Just a tad too comfortable above the arc. And the movement of the ball was slightly off by San Antonio. Wemby wasn't getting the same looks. I'll tell you who was getting great looks. Dylan Harper. I don't know why they took him off the ball, but that was a mistake by San Antonio.
He went
But
off the
you
bench.
exactly, and you're noticing, Castle's not getting the same looks. De'Aaron Fox not killing us. Or Vassell, whatever his name is.
Hmm?
He's also not necessarily getting the same amount of shots and everything. Like I'm noticing the offense starting to get too comfy, Wemby's starting to get a little too cocky, and they're starting to miss. They're starting to miss a little bit. And my mind, of course, isn't thinking, oh, well, the Knicks are going to come back from down 29 to win the game. But no one in their right mind is thinking that because the Knicks look shot. I mean, even in that third quarter, I didn't necessarily think they played great in that third quarter. When the Knicks started chipping away, though, I started to kind of get the sense that the Spurs weren't answering as they should. And that's where my mind started thinking, is it possible? Just is it possible, Mark?
Is it possible? Anything is possible. We've always agreed and said on during football, any team could beat any given team on any given Sunday. That's the statement in football. Do you agree with me, Dan?
Always, man.
In basketball, it's not only played on one day, it's played on multiple days. I'm actually kind of surprised that there is only one weekend day game throughout the whole schedule. That kind of shocked me. But to Dan's point, if you look at the points per quarter, San Antonio 41 to the Knicks 22, and then 35 to 27. That's atrocious. And then Dan made a great remark. Even though the Knicks had a better third quarter, 26-14, they didn't look like they were pushing. It didn't look like they were trying to overscore. And then a complete 180 of the third quarter, the Knicks scored 32 in the fourth. And the last, God, through the amount of changes and everything, my heart's stopping, barely breathing. I'm like, oh my God, I need a Xanax. This is ridiculous.
I tried to get in contact with Mark. He's just not answering my text.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, he's probably locked into the game.
my eyes are glued. I'm sitting there and I said, well, you know who was going to get the ball? It was not a question that it was going to go to Jalen Brunson. He took a Stephen Curry like
Mhm.
three-pointer, which he has made time and time again, not usually with a 7 foot, 2 foot hand in his way.
Yeah.
It hits the back of the rim, and you're like, oh, and then you see amongst all the other jerseys, one Nick jersey get up and get his hand in there, and that's OG Anunoby, who had probably one of the greatest moments in NBA Finals history.
Yeah.
This will go down in a moment. Whether the Knicks go on to win it or lose it, this goes down as a moment. We're preferring win it. This will go down as a moment in finals history because it was absolutely insane. You had, let's say, three Spurs going up for the rebound, and he gets above everybody to get his hand on the ball first. Let's take a look at the stats from the game, and don't be surprised. Brunson with his 36, 12 to 25 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3-point range, chipped in 5 rebounds and 7 assists. Then we're gonna go to our next guy, 33-pointer OG Anobi, who was 7 of 9 from 3-point range. He
He was
is just
fantastic.
he has just been electric from downtown.
Yeah.
6 of 6 from free throws. Chipped in with 4 rebounds. Chipped in with a steal, a block, an assist.
Yeah.
What more could he have done? He played as hard as anybody on that court. That goes
Yeah.
for anybody on San Antonio.
Yeah. He was by far the best offensive player on the floor. And I know Jalen Brunson, point wise, had more points than OG, but OG Anunoby was way more efficient through all 4 quarters
Yep.
this entire
He
game.
was,
He
yeah,
was the best
not a
offensive
knock
player
at
on the
Jalen.
floor.
Yeah, not a knock at Jalen Brunson. He had a great night, but OG had a more electric night.
Yeah.
Okay, there is no shame in us saying, OG was the guy. Carl Anthony Towns yet again puts up a double double, and then Josh Hart. We know Josh Hart will either be a shooting version or a defensive person. Josh Hart had 6 points, took a total of four field goals, had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, but no blocks. This
Yeah.
guy has become, I mean, I hate to say it like this, the Draymond Green of the New York Knicks. He doesn't have to score 9 points, but he's in there for the rebounds, the assists. That's what he's
Yeah.
there for, and he's good at it. He's
Yes.
physical.
Yeah, and of course, everyone could have gotten on him with the missed, wide open, lay-in or dunk, whichever he wanted to do. I don't know. He was in between. That could have given the Knicks lead and could have been costly, but it wasn't costly, and stuff. But no, I mean Josh Hart once again, not necessarily contributing point wise, but his
Presence.
defense, his presence, 8 points, like you said, it was a plus 11 on the stat sheet. That's pretty good. Like,
I,
the fact that he's on the floor and he's contributing that much. So, a great contribution there. I know Karl Anthony Towns didn't really contribute much. He was in foul trouble. But, when he did have to make his shots, he did one.
yeah.
So I will give Karl Anthony Towns that.
Now,
Um,
the one weakness on the floor, again, Mikal Bridges just wasn't
yeah.
feeling it. A -2
And
for the day, not even contributing on really rebounds and assists. 3 from 9 from the
yeah,
field, 7 points.
can we give a shout out to Mike Brown for once again with the tremendous coaching here? Because Mikal Bridges is obviously not having a great game, not doing anything on both ends of the floor. He's getting absolutely cooked by the Spurs, can't make a shot on the offensive end. Rather than stick with the same formula, hey, I'm going to keep Mikal out, or I'm going to throw out a Landry Shaman, who is also terrible and
Yep.
hasn't had a good finals, except for like game one or something. And then even McBride, McBride really hasn't been a factor in this series
At
at all.
all. At all.
Can we acknowledge how Mike Brown has properly coached to find ways to get more production out of this squad? And when I say that, I mean when he inserts Jose Alvarado with Jalen Brunson, you have to understand these two have never played on the floor this entire season. It has never happened. And yet Jose Alvarado provided the speed and the spark and the quick points that the Knicks needed. So rather than going to a Shaman who can give you quick points, hasn't been a factor. rather than going to Deuce, who has been a factor. Mikal Bridges has been a factor in these last two games. He goes to Jose Alvarado, who has been a major factor in these last two games, scoring wise, and completely took away the Spurs' plan and made them flustered. They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the look on what do you call it? The look on Ben Stiller's face, the joke about how Steve Cohen might be the closest he gets to win a ring. He's jumping up and
Funny.
down. That was a really funny joke. I don't remember who tweeted that, but that was great. That was really funny. Um, the star power that was there. And then I'm going to say one thing. Dan might be a little upset at me for saying it. Jerry Seinfeld happens to be one of the most respected Americans in the world, a highly respected Jew, and for some dumb schmuck to go stick a microphone and say, "Come on, say free Palestine," right in Jerry Seinfeld's face. Jerry doesn't get flustered. He said, "Yeah, it doesn't exist," and walked away. Jerry
But who
Seinfeld,
did that? But who
it
did that?
was a rogue reporter from a YouTube sponsored report.
Oh,
And it was stupid. Why bring politics into this?
yeah.
Because
I'm
they
not.
need,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not for this crap. The concentration should be on the fact that Knicks are up 3-1. Now, throwing eggs at Wemby. Come on. We're New Yorkers, we're better than that. I did find it funny, but
but you know
we're better.
what? No, I'm gonna be real with you, Mark. And look, I would never throw eggs at
No.
anybody because that's just not who I am. I don't like violence. But for the amount of dirty plays that Wemby has had all series, and for the cockiness that he has shown, the I'm in your head, I'm in your
Yep.
head, I'm in your head, when you're up by near 30 points, and you have this, just this attitude that you think you're better than everybody. And it's very obvious that he had a flagrant foul in this game on Karl Anthony Towns. Finally, they called a flagrant foul on
Yep.
Wemby. And I know he tried to apologize. He knew what the fuck he was doing. Can we please acknowledge that Wembyama is smart enough to know what the hell he was doing on the court here? You
Yep.
were calling it unintentional. I call bullshit until I see otherwise.
Right. And he
So
got,
no, again, I wouldn't do it. I'm not a person that would egg someone, but you have to understand why we're doing it
well,
to him.
that's New York. New York doesn't take shit from anybody. Okay. As I said, as and I'm with Dan, I'm not for throwing, but we understand why it was done. Okay. When you when you blatantly take out and try to injure one of the best, SG, congrats to SGA again on his MVP win. He deserved it. I'm going to stand behind that. Jalen was number two, runner up, absolutely understood. But Jalen has a chance to win something that SGA doesn't, and that's an NBA Finals MVP. Dan, I
Here's
had
my
this as sorry.
you finish your question.
Here's my question. Which one holds more, I want to say, face value to the player? NBA Finals MVP or NBA MVP of the season?
Well, do you know how hard it is to win an MVP or 82 game season? And I know a lot of these players don't play 82 games anymore, but like, do you know how hard it is to do that? I mean, I think
Oh, I
that holds a
understand.
lot. I think it
I'm
holds a
just saying
lot of
in a player's
value.
mind.
I think it holds a lot of value either way. Like, I don't know if it really matters NBA Finals or League MVP. Personally, for me, I would love the League MVP more than the NBA
Okay.
Finals MVP. But I mean, if you're Finals MVP, I mean that means you were the best, more valuable player in the championship, which is very big. That's a big thing.
So
So With that being said, you're saying
Aaron?
that it could be Brunson, and I agree with you. I think it feels like they're going to lean towards Brunson. But don't count out OG, man.
Yeah,
OG has been in all
he's
four
been
games has
dominant.
been very productive.
Yep, he has played to his highest level that we have been able to watch. And I agree with Dan. It could go to OG, but you would have to think in mindset, the way things go, is right now leaning towards Brunson because where Brunson was at the end of the regular season and what he has done during the playoffs. But you cannot say OG hasn't been at the same level as Brunson is. Going to take a quick look at the Spurs because we were getting into them and then we sidetracked back. Here's their main person, Victor Wembanyama, 24 points, 9 of 25 shots.
Yeah, just horrendous in the second half. A lot of the points he got was in the first two quarters.
Right. All down low. I
Hmm.
mean, you're 7'2". Carl Anthony
Yeah,
Towns, I believe, is 6'11", and then Mitch Robinson is just about 7. You will
yeah,
still have a 2-inch advantage. Use it. I
yeah,
mean, I'm not trying to give tips, but I'm just saying as a basketball analyst,
yeah,
you got that body to throw in 2 from 8 from 3-pointers. Now, we've seen Wemby
yeah,
make 3-pointers, so we know he can shoot them. So it's not an unusual thing for him to shoot them. But if you're shooting 9 for 25, you shouldn't be shooting
yeah,
anything from beyond the arc. That means you
yeah.
don't have it.
And that's the thing. Wemby was dominant in the first two quarters because the game was centered around him being down low. And yet, once again, and again, this I'm going to get on Mitch Johnson for as much praise as I've given him all season. The fact that you are allowing your best player, who is taller than the Empire State Building, way taller than the Chrysler Building, and you have him at the perimeter, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. You need to tell you in every spot you are playing down low. And look, what's the worst that could happen? You get fouled, right? Because
Yep.
none of the Knicks players are touching you unless you're Karl Anthony Towns, who's played well against Wemby this series. No one's touching you. Mitchell Robinson has no answer for you.
Nope.
Um, None of the players that are way smaller than you have no answers for you. Like it is crazy how Mitch Johnson has fumbled every single time, especially when the Spurs have double-digit leads. How
Yep.
they have fumbled their game plan with Wemby. It is crazy. Um, but yeah, he shot 2 for 8 from 3-point range. Why he's shooting too many threes, it just doesn't make any sense. He's not making them. Not
Right.
making them.
When you're a big guy like that, you shouldn't be if as soon as you see you go on at least 3 in a row, you missed stop. You know,
Mm,
Julian Champagny, 1 for 7 from beyond the arc. And then you
yeah.
had the brilliance between Duran Fox, 4 for 9, and Devin Vassell, 5 for 8. Castle did
Yeah.
not shoot many, only shot three
He
and
he
made one
didn't
of them.
shoot, he didn't shoot well this game. He was better in game three than he was in game four. And look, if you really think about it, your best shooters of the night were Fox, Vassell, and Harper. Those are the guys that were killing the Knicks. And of course you had Wemby down low. So why they weren't I mean they weren't necessarily hot in the second half. But especially with Harper, Harper was a massive killer for the Knicks. And yet I saw absolutely nothing out of him. Not because he didn't make any shots, because they didn't even give him the ball, bro. It was just wild. It was just
And
wild to see. And
and
De'Aaron Fox, he had an okay game, but can someone explain to me what the hell he was doing at the end of that
thank you.
game?
That's what I was getting into. So what Dan is mentioning, and I was getting ready to mention, Duran Fox stole the ball with what about
It was a miss. It was a missed shot. That was on the
right,
floor.
and but there was mere seconds, maybe 11, 12 left. He steals the ball and he has a good, clear look at the basket. Why are you even going to the basket there? You have the lead. Stop, run out the friggin' clock, let them foul you. Whatever. What happens? You go up for a
Well,
layup that OG blocks.
yeah,
It's then picked up, pushed over, Knicks timeout. Then
yeah,
we get to what Dan and I expected. We knew who was going to take the shot. We knew who was going to guard him. And the man who blocked the shot on the other way makes the winning tip in on the other side.
yeah. By the way, that tip in doesn't happen. And again, I know why you do it. Wembanyama is huge. You want to get as much pressure on Jalen Brunson as possible because you know that he's going to be taking the shot. I really think that if you had guarded anybody on Jalen Brunson and kept Wemby down low, I mean, not saying that Brunson was going to make or miss. I don't know what he was going to do in that situation,
Right.
but you got to give yourself an opportunity to get a defensive rebound there. And
And
Wemby is clearly your only option. The fact that he's the one guarding Brunson up at the arc, it was a great IQ play. And I know no one's going to acknowledge this. Everyone's like, oh no, Brunson was trying to go for the win. And I agree, probably, but the better IQ play is knowing that Wemby's coming at you. You take the shot from
we
God knows
did.
where, from all the way out to Timbuktu. Like we knew Jalen Brunson was going to make that shot, but it's given another opportunity for one of the Knicks down low to make a play in which OG Anunoby did.
Right. And he
Made the
has been
tip.
active inside that area, inside the paint. I would like to have all the stats in front of me, and I don't, and it's kind of embarrassing. But still,
And yeah,
in the paint, OG Anunoby has been the Knicks' best player.
yeah. Well, I mean, him and Cat, but like,
Well,
yeah, OG's been phenomenal. And the fact that you had all these Spurs players, without Wemby down low, basically staring and waiting, and then OG comes in and slaps the ball in. I mean, it was a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous execution by the Knicks in the last seconds of this game.
the Knicks end up walking off with a win that, if anybody would have told you, should have been a loss. I mean,
Mm,
29-point lead. That's like Tom Brady coming back in the Super Bowl. I know we're not supposed to mention his name in this network. That's why I really don't have a hockey reference. I don't have Mike here, so uh, eh, it's the Mets coming back against the Braves with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth and scoring 9 runs. I mean, it's something you don't see in sports often, and when you get to see it, it's special. This will go up along with the Larry Johnson shot
I
that
think
turned
it
into a
surpasses.
four-pointer.
I think it
It's just I'm
surpasses
saying
Larry
it's going to be
Johnson.
compiled with them, in
Oh,
famous.
yeah, for sure. But I think it's
And
better.
then the Allen Houston, rim up back
Yeah,
and then fall
yeah,
in.
yeah. Those are great Nick playoff moments. But this is the
The,
best
yes,
by far.
by far. I don't disagree with you at all. The New York Knicks will play for the first time on a weekend day. You would figure for the NBA, I mean, the ratings have, from what the NBA has released, have been the most in the last 5 years. Now that says
It's
something.
it's done wonders for my station. So thank you, Knicks.
And I like to thank the amount of two viewers that the Sportsnet Network did gain. We thank you very much. We appreciate it, moving us up
Yes.
that needle to 59. So thank you very much. We're trying to get our name out there, so brag a little about us. We post on X at S Insanity Reel. Dan, Bill, the Patchman, Pun Master Mike Rifkin, and Weatherman Noah Trombley are always ready to go. This network, we have dreams. And in America, America is a dream state, except if you're in Seattle right now.
Yep.
The New York Knicks will play on Saturday night in San Antonio. The Knicks lead 3-1. If the Knicks happen to lose in San Antonio, Knicks fans, don't pull out your hair
Yeah,
because game 6 is back at the Garden.
yeah.
Again, not on a
And
weekend day, which I still don't understand.
look, the the Knicks have three chances
Yep.
to win this series now. I
The
say
hardest will
advantage
be in
Knicks.
the hardest will be in San Antonio.
Yeah, and look, look. Obviously, the series isn't over. As a matter
Nope.
of fact, Mark, call me crazy. I think the Spurs are going to win Game 5.
Look, I think they have look in it's elimination time.
You
So
know,
what are
they're
you
they're going
gonna
to be
do?
the one. They're
You're gonna go and overput output. You're gonna take your numbers of what you did and you're gonna keep doubling them to get this win because if the Knicks win, that's it. But in Dan's case, if the Spurs come out and win, what happens? Do the Knicks get down on their hands and knees and cry it's all over? No, because it comes back to New York. And
yeah, and it'll be
that's
a party there. Now, of course, we want it to wrap up on Saturday. Come on,
I would
let's be
prefer it.
real.
I would
We
prefer it.
want it. We want to wrap this up now.
Yeah,
Um,
the longer drawn out that it is doesn't make it helpful. But
yeah,
we want to thank you for tuning into what has been probably our most happiest episode of the Sports
Mhm.
Ascendant. What number episode are we on now, Dan?
This is
Of the six
34.
man. 34 episodes we've been with you this year. We're going to be back after basketball is done to talk about news. And then when the basketball season, maybe we'll have an additional person. But the Danny boy and I will be back repping the Knicks here on the Sixth Man Up. Please follow us at www.thesportsintendingnetwork.com for all your blogs and vlogs. Come in and look at live podcasts during the wrestling. Some of the best puns in the world come out during those. Mike Rifkin and the Patch Man throw it left and right. Check out live Batters Up on Sunday, where Dan, Mike, and I cover the week in baseball, not just Yankees, not just Mets. Check out Bill and Dan on Monday and Friday for SIP, the original podcast that started it all, which gained Mike and me, and that is why Dan is bald. We made him pull all his hair out at this time. Uh, just a
Exactly.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I probably won't be on Batter Up Sunday, but good luck.
Okay,
Have a nice day.
no, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We got it. For me, Mark Oldop, Sky Halpern, along with the vice president who started this network, Danny Boy, Reginald, we want to wish you a nice, cool Friday because if you're on the East Coast, you can cook an egg out on the sidewalk. It's going to feel like 101 out there. So stay safe, hydrate, don't go running around. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the